This device was the first successful airplane, flown by the Wright brothers at Kitty Hawk in 1903. A. What is the Wright Flyer? B. What is the Spirit of St. Louis? C. What is the Hindenburg? D. What is the Concorde? The correct answer is, what is the Wright Flyer? This invention by Alexander Graham Bell was demonstrated with the first words, "Mr. Watson, come here." A. What is the telephone? B. What is the radio? C. What is the telegraph? D. What is the phonograph? The correct answer is, what is the telephone? Who invented the World Wide Web, a system that revolutionized information sharing? A. Who invented Tim Berners-Lee? B. Who invented Bill Gates? C. Who invented Steve Jobs? D. Who invented Mark Zuckerberg? The correct answer is, who invented Tim Berners-Lee? When was the first successful powered flight achieved? A. When was 1903? B. When was 1803? C. When was 1783? D. When was 1957? The correct answer is, when was 1903? What is the name of the first artificial satellite launched into Earth orbit? A. What is Sputnik 1? B. What is Explorer 1? C. What is Vanguard 1? D. What is Luna 1? The correct answer is, what is Sputnik 1? Who developed the first practical incandescent light bulb? A. Who invented Thomas Edison? B. Who invented Nikola Tesla? C. Who invented Joseph Swan? D. Who invented George Westinghouse? The correct answer is, who invented Thomas Edison? What is the name of the first programmable computer, considered by many to be a landmark in computing history? A. What is the ENIAC? B. What is the Colossus? C. What is the Atanasoff Berry computer? D. What is the UNIVAC? The correct answer is, what is the ENIAC? When was the first integrated circuit, microchip, invented, paving the way for modern electronics? A. When was 1958? B. When was 1968? C. When was 1948? D. When was 1978? The correct answer is, when was 1958? What is the name of the printing press Johannes Gutenberg is credited with inventing? A. What is the Gutenberg press? B. What is the stanhope press? C. What is the cylinder press? D. What is the rotary press? The correct answer is, what is the Gutenberg press? Who developed the theory of relativity, a major breakthrough in physics? A. Who invented Albert Einstein? B. Who invented Isaac Newton? C. Who invented Galileo Galilei? D. Who invented Stephen Hawking? The correct answer is, who invented Albert Einstein? This explorer was the first to circumnavigate the globe. A. Who was Ferdinand Magellan? B. Who was Christopher Columbus? C. Who was Vasco da Gama? D. Who was Zheng He? The correct answer is, who was Ferdinand Magellan? This individual was the first European to sight the Pacific Ocean. A. Who was Vasco Núñez de Balboa? B. Who was Hernán Cortés? C. Who was Francisco Pizarro? D. Who was Ponce de León? The correct answer is, who was Vasco Núñez de Balboa? This was the first European country to establish a permanent colony in North America. A. What was Spain? B. What was England? C. What was France? D. What was Portugal? The correct answer is, what was Spain? This explorer is credited with discovering the Mississippi River. A. Who was Hernando de Soto? B. Who was Francisco Vázquez de Coronado? C. Who was Alvar Núñez Cabeza de Vaca? D. Who was Juan Ponce de León? The correct answer is, who was Hernando de Soto? This was the first spacecraft to successfully land on the Moon. A. What was Luna 2? B. What was Surveyor 1? C. What was Apollo 11? D. What was Ranger 7? The correct answer is, what was Apollo 11? This was the first human to walk on the Moon. A. Who was Neil Armstrong? B. Who was Buzz Aldrin? C. Who was Michael Collins? D. Who was Yuri Gagarin? The correct answer is, who was Neil Armstrong? Which expedition was the first to reach the South Pole? A. Which expedition was led by Robert Falcon Scott? B. Which expedition was led by Roald Amundsen? C. Which expedition was led by Ernest Shackleton? D. Which expedition was led by Douglas Mawson? The correct answer is, which expedition was led by Roald Amundsen? This person was the first woman in space. A. Who was Valentina Tereshkova? B. Who was Sally Ride? C. Who was Svetlana Savitskaya? D. Who was Mae Jemison? The correct answer is, who was Valentina Tereshkova? This was the first artificial satellite to orbit the Earth. A. What was Sputnik 1? B. What was Explorer 1? C. What was Vanguard 1? D. What was Luna 1? The correct answer is, what was Sputnik 1? This explorer led the first successful expedition to the summit of Mount Everest. A. Who was Edmund Hillary? B. Who was Tenzing Norgay? C. Who was George Mallory? D. Who was Andrew Irvine? The correct answer is, who was Edmund Hillary? This 1927 film was the first successful talkie featuring synchronized dialogue. A. What is the jazz singer? B. What is Singin' in the Rain? C. What is the Broadway melody? D. What is All Quiet on the Western Front? The correct answer is, what is the jazz singer? This author wrote the first novel ever published, The Tale of Genji, in 11th century Japan. A. Who was Murasaki Shikibu? B. Who was Sei Shonagon? C. Who was Lady Sarashina? D. Who was Izumi Shikibu? The correct answer is, who was Murasaki Shikibu? This ancient Greek playwright is considered the father of tragedy. A. Who was Sophocles? B. Who was Euripides? C. Who was Aeschylus? D. Who was Aristophanes? The correct answer is, who was Aeschylus? This Leonardo da Vinci painting is widely considered one of the first examples of sfumato technique. A. What is the Mona Lisa? B. What is the Last Supper? C. What is the Vitruvian Man? D. What is the Annunciation? The correct answer is, what is the Mona Lisa? This year saw the first public screening of a motion picture. A. When was 1895? B. When was 1903? C. When was 1888? D. When was 1910? The correct answer is, when was 1895? This groundbreaking artist created the first known moving image using a zoetrope. A. Who was Edward Muybridge? B. Who was Thomas Edison? C. Who was the Lumiere brothers? D. Who was George Eastman? The correct answer is, who was Edward Muybridge? This is the name of the first commercially successful video game. A. What is Pong? B. What is Pac-Man? C. What is Space Invaders? D. What is Donkey Kong? The correct answer is, what is Pong? This composer wrote the first opera, generally considered to be Daphne. A. Who was Claudio Monteverdi? B. Who was Jacopo Peri? C. Who was Giulio Caccini? D. Who was Alessandro Scarlatti? The correct answer is, who was Jacopo Peri? This artist is credited with creating the first truly portable camera. A. Who was George Eastman? B. Who was Louis Daguerre? C. Who was Nicephore Niepce? D. Who was Joseph Nicephore Niepce? The correct answer is, who was George Eastman? This printing technique, invented in the 15th century, revolutionized book production. A. What is movable type? B. What is woodblock printing? C. What is lithography? D. What is engraving? The correct answer is, what is movable type? This runner was the first person to run a mile in under 4 minutes in 1954. A. Who was Roger Bannister? B. Who was John Landy? C. Who was Wes Santee? D. Who was Jim Ryan? The correct answer is, who was Roger Bannister? This athlete was the first to win Olympic gold in both Summer and Winter Olympics. A. Who was Eddie Egan? B. Who was Clara Hughes? C. Who was Krista Rothenberger? D. Who was Lauren Williams? The correct answer is, who was Eddie Egan? What was the first sport to be officially included in the modern Olympic Games in 1896? A. What was swimming? B. What was track and field? C. What was gymnastics? D. What was fencing? The correct answer is what was track and field. Who was the first woman to swim the English Channel? A. Who was Gertrude Ederle? B. Who was Annette Kellerman? C. Who was Millie Murray? D. Who was Mercedes Gleitz? The correct answer is who was Gertrude Ederle. Which sport saw Jackie Robinson break the color barrier in professional sports in 1947? A. Which sport was baseball? B. Which sport was basketball? C. Which sport was football? D. Which sport was hockey? The correct answer is which sport was baseball. What was the first year a woman won a gold medal in a summer Olympic marathon? A. What was 1984? B. What was 1972? C. What was 1968? D. What was 1960? The correct answer is what was 1984? Who was the first American to win the Tour de France? A. Who was Greg LeMond? B. Who was Lance Armstrong? C. Who was Floyd Landis? D. Who was Tyler Hamilton? The correct answer is who was Greg LeMond? What was the first year the Super Bowl was held? A. What was 1967? B. What was 1966? C. What was 1965? D. What was 1968? The correct answer is what was 1967? Who was the first woman to win a Wimbledon singles title? A. Who was Maud Watson? B. Who was Lottie Dodd? C. Who was Suzanne Lenglen? D. Who was Billie Jean King? The correct answer is who was Maud Watson? Which sport saw Wilma Rudolph become the first American woman to win 3 gold medals at a single Olympic Games? A. Which sport was track and field? B. Which sport was swimming? C. Which sport was gymnastics? D. Which sport was basketball? The correct answer is which sport was track and field? This scientist developed the first successful polio vaccine. A. Who was Jonas Salk? B. Who was Albert Sabin? C. Who was Louis Pasteur? D. Who was Robert Koch? The correct answer is who was Jonas Salk? This medical procedure involved the first successful human-to-human heart transplant. A. Which medical procedure was a heart transplant? B. Which medical procedure was a kidney transplant? C. Which medical procedure was a lung transplant? D. Which medical procedure was a liver transplant? The correct answer is which medical procedure was a heart transplant? This scientist discovered the structure of DNA. A. Who was James Watson? B. Who was Francis Crick? C. Who was Rosalind Franklin? D. Who was Maurice Wilkins? The correct answer is who was James Watson? This was the first antibiotic to be successfully used to treat bacterial infections. A. What was penicillin? B. What was streptomycin? C. What was tetracycline? D. What was sulfanilamide? The correct answer is what was penicillin? This scientist developed the theory of relativity. A. Who was Albert Einstein? B. Who was Isaac Newton? C. Who was Galileo Galilei? D. Who was Max Planck? The correct answer is who was Albert Einstein? This was the first successful flight of a heavier-than-air-powered aircraft. A. What was the Wright brothers' flight? B. What was the Montgolfier brothers' flight? C. What was Lilienthal's glider flight? D. What was the Da Vinci flying machine? The correct answer is what was the Wright brothers' flight? This scientist formulated the laws of motion and universal gravitation. A. Who was Isaac Newton? B. Who was Galileo Galilei? C. Who was Johannes Kepler? D. Who was Nicolaus Copernicus? The correct answer is who was Isaac Newton? This medical procedure involved the first successful use of X-rays for medical imaging. A. Which medical procedure was X-ray imaging? B. Which medical procedure was ultrasound imaging? C. Which medical procedure was MRI? D. Which medical procedure was CT scanning? The correct answer is which medical procedure was X-ray imaging? This scientist developed the periodic table of elements. A. Who Who was Dmitry Mendeleev? B. Who was John Dalton? C. Who was Antoine Lavoisier? D. Who was Robert Boyle? The correct answer is who was Dmitry Mendeleev? This was the first artificial satellite to orbit the Earth. A. What was Sputnik 1? B. What was Explorer 1? C. What was Vanguard 1? D. What was Luna 1? The correct answer is what was Sputnik 1?